What's going on, Black and Gold family? Welcome back to the Wisemen Say podcast. Ty Fisher flying solo today, and boy, do we have a massive episode because once again, the crew world is full of drama, excitement, and just a little bit of panic sprinkled on top. For this episode, we're breaking down three big topics. We have MLS conference previews, who's got the edge, and what it means for the cup. We also have Wilfried Nancy to Celtic. How serious is it, and what could this mean for Columbus? I know we talked about it last week, but now that it's almost pretty much said and done, what could it mean for the Columbus Crew moving into 2026? The Crew also dropped their roster decisions today, heading into the offseason. Who stays, who goes, and who is on the bubble? So buckle in, grab a drink, and scream glory to Columbus at your steering wheel or whatever you need to do. Let's get right into it. Starting with the MLS conference previews. Two games, two completely different vibes. Both of them are going to shape the MLS Cup narrative. Eastern Conference Final. This one kind of feels like a chess match more than a track meet, in my opinion. We have key players, tactical matchups, and can a defense actually win a playoff game in 2025? And that is what we are going to find out. So, questions I am looking for in this Eastern Conference Final between Inter Miami and New York City FC. Who controls the midfield tempo? Obviously, for Inter Miami, it is definitely Lionel Messi. The guy is just on fire. A goal, 3 assists in their 4-0 win against FC Cincinnati in the conference semis. New York City FC, Maxi Morales getting the lone goal against the Supporter Shield winners. These two guys are definitely ones to keep an eye out for. Which striker shows up on the moment? Obviously, we are looking at Tadeo Allende, possibly Luis Suarez for Inter Miami. And even though not really a striker, but it's got to be Maxi Morales yet again for New York City FC. Does experience matter, or are we in the era of pure chaos? Now, we all know, right, that Lionel Messi is one of the world's greatest players. However, it is something about New York City FC, right? They were the complete underdogs heading into Philadelphia on the night. I can't remember when they played, but for New York City to show up and defeat the Supporter Shield holders at home at Subaru Park, it's definitely something to kind of scratch your head about, because going against Philadelphia and Bradley Carnell was something that I was even afraid for if Columbus even made it that far, right? Experience, Miami has never made it to a conference final. They have never also been to MLS Cup. New York City, on the other hand, has won MLS Cup, has seen what a conference final looks like back in 2021 when they took on the Portland Timbers in the MLS Cup final. So I would assume that this matchup is going to be a very tight one. Just looking at the season stats for both teams, Inter Miami averaging 12 shots, New York City to 11. Both teams about 5 shots on goal throughout the season. Also, passing accuracy 87% in favor of the Herons. We're also looking at goalkeeper saves, 3.5 in favor of Rios Novos for Inter Miami. Matt Freese averaging about 3, right? It could get a bit chippy. Both teams averaging about 12 fouls. Miami averaging about 12.5. We'll say 13. New York City averaging 12. So it could get a bit chippy, right? But what is going to happen in this matchup is yet to be determined, right? So how did Inter Miami reach this conference final? Well, they're just one game away from hosting MLS Cup as they take on New York City this Saturday at Chase Stadium. Kickoff set for 6 p.m. on MLS Season Pass on Apple TV. They captured last year's Supporter Shield, right, with Messi. And now they are just one game away from hosting MLS Cup. Round 1, they face off against Nashville SC, defeating Nashville by a 2-1 scoreline over 3 games, right? They lose They lose game 2 against Nashville 2-1 at Geodis Park, but then absolutely blank Nashville SC game 3 4-0. Heading into the Eastern Conference Eastern Conference semifinals, I mentioned it before. It was all messy, right? Bagging a goal and 3 assists, setting the MLS record for most goal contributions in a single postseason at 12, a 4-0 rout of FC Cincinnati, who had just beat the Columbus Crew. They did that without Luis Suarez, right? In favor of 19-year-old Matteo Savetti, who was sharp in game 3 against Nashville. In the regular season, Miami came up just short in their pursuit of a second consecutive Supporter Shield, just finishing third with 65 points at 19-7-8 win-loss draw. Messi won the Golden Boot, 29 goals to become the league's top scorer during his second full season with the Herons, adding 19 assists, giving him 48 goal contributions this year, just shy of Carlos Vela's MLS record for 49 for LAFC back in 2019. Now flipping the script, going to NYCFC. NYCFC just one win away from making MLS Cup, their first since lifting the trophy back in 2021. They have quietly been one of the most consistent teams in MLS over the last 5 years, reaching the conference final for the third time since their MLS Cup winning 2021 campaign. So how did they get here? They won 2-1 on the series against Charlotte FC with a 3-1 win in game 3. Roasting the occasion in front of a massive crowd at Bank of America Stadium. Defeated Charlotte away, securing a 3-1 victory to advance the Eastern Conference semis. Nicolas Fernandez Marcao, acquired in the summer from La Liga side Elche, had his breakout moment for New York City, scoring a brace in that game, with Martinez netting his league best 12th game-winning goal to clinch the round 1 upset. New York City were also underdogs in that series against Charlotte FC, who had been an absolute stunning team to watch under Dean Smith. They then, as I mentioned earlier, Eastern Conference semis, 1-0 win over the Philadelphia Union, continued their dominance, shocked another MLS Cup contender in the Philadelphia Union. Missing Martinez and Andres Pereira due to injuries. Aiden O'Neill also missing through suspension. Shorthanded, but Maxi Morales turned back the clock to score the game's lone goal. Freese also produced multiple highlight reel saves to keep the Union off the board and ensure progression to the conference final. Throughout the regular season, though, NYCFC qualified by finishing 5th in the Eastern Conference under first-year head coach Pascal Jansen, tallying 56 points in a 17-win, 12-loss, 5-draw record. Led up top by Costa Rican striker Alonso Martinez with 17 goals and 2 assists. Hans Wolf scoring 11 goals and 7 assists. And Maxi Morales, 2 goals, 11 assists, providing the attacking boost. Also, strong back line highlighted by Matt Freese. So, what's to say that New York City cannot get another upset in the conference finals? That is yet to be determined. Messi might have something to say about it, but you will never know what happens. Now, flipping the script to the Western Conference Final, it's just vibes and violence over there. Pure chaos, right? You have Vancouver Whitecaps and newly minted expansion side San Diego FC. Every time you think you understand the Western Conference, it just goes and flips the script, right? Early predictions, and I will let you guys roast me on social media much later. The winner of the East goes into MLS Cup as the favorite. The winner of the West will score goals, but can they defend anybody for 90 minutes? Right? We saw Vancouver Whitecaps take on LAFC, go up 2-0 in the first half. Heung-min Son had something to say about that in the second half with LAFC down 2-0. They come back and score 2-2. Son Heung-min with that miraculous free kick in the 88th minute. Oh, sorry, I believe it. No, it was 90 plus. It was a 90 plus 3, actually, a second half stoppage time to send the game into extra time. Now, we also know the Vancouver Whitecaps were down to 10 men, right? With Tristan Blackman getting sent off late in the second half, right before that free kick from Sonny. They go down to 9 men, missing. I can't remember who it was, missing the defender that came in for Blackman, or that filled the void that Blackman left due to injury. So Vancouver Whitecaps down to 9 men, somehow, some way, pull out the win in penalty kicks. So how did the Vancouver Whitecaps reach the conference final? Blanked FC Dallas 2-0, best of 3, right? Game 2, they win 4. They tie 1-1, but win 4-2 on penalty kicks. And then a 4-3 win after the game was tied 2-2 in the conference semis against LAFC, who were also major favorites in Steve Cherundolo's last season as the black and gold head coach. Throughout the regular season, it was a club record for points at 63, wins at 18, goal differential at plus 28, and goals in 66, en route to the Western Conference number 2 seed. When you bring in Thomas Muller, also his 9 goals and 4 assists in 11 matches across all competitions, and Vancouver have all the makings of the MLS Cup written in their hands. But they will have to take on Anders Dreyer and San Diego FC, who took the league by storm, and boy, did they ever. Taking on the Portland Timbers in round 1. They went on to go the length in 3 games. Game 3 blanking the Timbers 4-0 in front of a sellout crowd at Snapdragon Stadium. Dreyer scored inside 5 minutes, iced the match with a 79th minute finish from Chuka Lozano, and then they were on to the Western Conference semis. They defeated Minnesota United 1-0. Dreyer again providing the heroics, scoring the lone goal to help San Diego book their Western Conference final spot following a 1-0 victory over Minnesota United. Corey Baird set up the chance with a cheeky backheel assist after running down a ball from Dreyer's fellow Danish star, Jep Tverskov, and the crafty maneuver culminated with Dreyer's 72nd minute game-winning blast past Canadian international Dane St. Clair. Dreyer 4 goals, 2 assists in the postseason, trailing only Miami's Lionel Messi for the most postseason goal contributions in the league this year. Throughout the regular season, it was yet another record-setting season for San Diego, who topped the West with 63 points at 19 wins, 9 losses, and 6 draws. Dreyer led that with 19 goals and 19 assists in the regular season, en route to winning the MLS Newcomer of the Year. Dreyer, Lozano, and Tverskov were also named MLS All-Stars. Mikey Varas' other key signings include Panamanian midfielder Anibal Godoy, left back Luca Bombino, and center back Christopher McVeigh. So, out of the West, who's it going to be? I don't know, but we will get to that here on the show sometime soon, maybe next week when I have Gerald and Derek back. So, what does this tell us? So, the conference finals are going to tell us whether MLS is a league of elite systems or a whoever has the hottest attack wins league. And yes, it will definitely come down to who can be the better team. Now we move on to the Columbus Crew, right? As mentioned before, the Columbus Crew are set to lose Wilfried Nancy. But let's just rip the Band-Aid off, right? Wilfried Nancy is all said and done to be Celtic FC's next manager. But we all know he's a system coach, but he's also a builder. He is not a mercenary. So, if Europe is calling, it is definitely not shocking. The man is one of the best tacticians in this hemisphere. The emotion side of it, Crew fans are just terrified of losing a generational coach. They feel like they were just starting to build a dynasty, and it almost feels like it's too soon to lose such a key piece into the success that the Columbus Crew had in 2023, 2024, and last season in 2025. However, the realistic side is Celtic are serious. Columbus cannot top Nancy. The European interest means that Columbus Crew are doing the right things, right? We have multiple USMNT stars. We have brought in Cucho Hernandez when he was when Caleb Porter was still in town. We also brought in Wassam Abu Ali middle of the year this year, towards the end of the year, actually, this past season. We're doing the right things. Columbus is on the map internationally. But if Nancy does go, Columbus might become one of the best jobs on the continent, not just MLS. If, and it's still if, nothing has been official yet, but there is still if Nancy leave, certain players are safer under a new coach, others maybe not. The style shifts could affect transfers, formations, and locker room leadership. Now, if something drastic were to happen and say Wilfried Nancy stays, the Crew run it back with continuity and a real shot at more trophies. There are still 2 trophies I feel that Wilfried Nancy could secure if he would have stayed one more year at Columbus. That would have been the CONCACAF Champions Cup and I believe the MLS Supporters Shield. Right now, the Crew fans are balancing hope with the dead, and honestly, both are valid. Whether Nancy stays or goes, one thing is guaranteed. This roster is facing big decisions. So we will definitely break this down in 3 buckets, right? The untouchables, the core of the future. These are the guys that the club must keep unless someone offers a ridiculous European bag. These are the identity pieces. They are Nicholas Hagen, Stanislavskis, Patrick Schulte as the goalkeepers, Malte Amundsen, Yevon Shaberko, Mo Farsi, Andreas Herrera, Steven Moreira, Cesar Ruvalcaba, Sean Zawadzki as your defenders, Max Arfson, Tristan Brown, Dylan Shenbo, Daniel Gazdak, Taha Habrun, Cole Maraca, Hugo Picard, and Amar Sadic as your midfielders, Wassam Abu Ali, Ibrahim Aliyu, Diego Rossi, and Jason Russell Rowe as your forwards. Now, guys who are good, valuable, but the role depends on the salary cap, playing style, new signings, and tactical philosophy are your bubble players. I guess we could just say that Rudy Camacho and Evan Bush would be your bubble players. The transfer interest could be for Derek Jones, Lassie Lapalainen, and Abraham Romero, who had their options declined. We all know Darlington Nagbe has retired following a 15-year MLS career that included 4 MLS Cups, a League Cup title, 2 Campeones Cups, and 3 MLS All-Star selections. Do the Crew need another striker? Probably not. Wassam Abu Ali, riddled with injuries throughout his time here in Columbus, is going to get a full offseason and have a full year to show what he is worth, if he is worth the $7.5 million plus add-ons that the Columbus Crew paid for him. Is Columbus deep enough at the center back slot? We don't think so here at the show. Others think so, but maybe another defender or 2 in case something happens again could definitely help bolster the defense. Where do the DP and U22 slots go? We have no idea. If the Crew nail this offseason, Nancy or no Nancy, the championship window stays open. So, what's going to happen with the Columbus Crew? Hard to say, right? I guess next week we find out if Nancy is officially gone. Fabrizio Romano said that paperwork is all said and done pretty much. Just a couple of minute things, and Wilfried Nancy goes to Scotland. So, who could the Columbus Crew get to fill the void that Wilfried Nancy is going to leave? My personal vote, Jim Curtin, right? The biggest thing this year has been I wouldn't say decline, right? But it's been the disappointment, I would say, that Daniel Gazdag has shown. A key player for the Philadelphia Union under Jim Curtin comes to Columbus, a whole different system, whole different tactical ability, a different ask from what Jim Curtin had under Daniel Gazdag that Wilfried Nancy had this year. Instead of chasing the ball, right? Gazdag was asked to hold the ball. Could Jim Curtin maybe unlock a certain factor in Gazdag that he had in Philadelphia that maybe was missing here in Columbus? That's my top choice. Let me know what you think, right? In the comment box, in the question box below, who do you think would be the best choice candidate to replace Wilfried Nancy at the Columbus Crew? All right, that's going to wrap up the solo episode. Conference Finals predictions. I will give those to you right now. I will say, on a shot in the dark, I think New York City takes down Miami 2-1 in the Eastern Conference. In the Western Conference, it's hard. It's hard to go against Vancouver, but San Diego has been so good, pretty much lights out all year, right? If hindsight is 2020, you could say that Vancouver have the upper hand. But Mikey Varas has had this San Diego team with a bullseye on their back, and they seem to not be defeated at all. So I'm going to go San Diego. I'm going to go San Diego 2-0 in the West. New York City 2-1 in the East. And you guys have to wait for my MLS Cup final prediction. Nazi rumors, roster chaos. It honestly is a wild time to love this club, but that's why we're here, right? That's why we are here. So if you enjoyed this episode, drop a rating and review on whatever podcast platform you're listening to. Share it with a crew fan, family, coworker, doesn't matter. And hit follow so you don't miss the next one on YouTube. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, the bell to turn on post notifications whenever we upload new content. You guys can follow us on social media on Twitter at Wiseman Pod, on Blue Sky at the Wiseman Say Podcast.bsky.social. You guys can also follow us on Instagram at the Wiseman Say Podcast. You guys can follow Derek on social media at Funky Moses 17. Gerald on social media, Gerald_Lucas96. You guys can follow me on social media down here at Fisher Tyler__. And as always, jump in the comments, yell at me, send memes, give me your takes. And on the next show, we'll read the best ones. Thanks for listening. And as always, wise men say, only fools rush in. Peace out, everybody. Have a good week. Stay safe, stay hydrated, stay cool. Hug your loved ones. Happy Thanksgiving. Go Crew. Stay wise, y'all.